Yeah, yeah.
Do not forget to record.
Oh, we can record?
The show is now recorded on YouTube.
Fabulous.
It's gonna be.
Is the video working?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fab.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
The
Because
now
our
it's video.
families
live
want to
right now,
know.
and you can see it on previous.
Where's the camera?
Hi, nice
Wait
to
a
meet
minute,
you,
where's the
Bolivar.
camera?
Nice to meet you.
No, there's no
Bolivar.
camera.
There is a
Also
camera.
taking
I don't want a
here.
camera.
That's the camera up there.
Oh,
There's
God.
a little setup right here.
Excuse me.
It's pretty
Is that the
sweet.
camera up there?
Yeah, that's the camera. It's live right now, so and you can see
Right
it.
now, as we're talking?
That's
Okay, we just found out about you.
because we can send it on air at the same time it's on the radio, so we can put it right now. So it's right now on
Right this second, or as soon as we
right this
start?
second.
Or as soon as we
Well, I'm
start?
glad I didn't wear my hat.
Right now, there's no one here, but
Come on, Allie.
and the ladies.
Hi, my girls. Hi, babies.
So
This is us on the air.
it's going to be on the YouTube page of radio. Look at for Radio Chiriquí Boquete on YouTube, and it's all the live shows.
I'm going to have to start dressing up. This is not good. I don't have that many clothes.
Everybody's saying the same.
I don't have any makeup on.
You're going to have someone do your makeup.
Yeah, I need to lose a lot of
I
weight.
need somebody to come in and dress
I need
us.
to lose a lot more weight.
Then you that's unbelievable.
Oh, this is so intimidating now. We used to be in this little hovel doing something.
About it.
Is this your first time in this one?
With this,
Oh.
yeah. We usually are just like in our, hiking
Everyone
clothes.
quiet, please. Because we're going to be on the air soon.
Sure.
What are your names again?
Carol
Carol.
Barrington.
Brian last name.
Brian's last name.
Brian is the last name.
Is he coming? Is he coming?
Maybe not.
Okay. Because if he's coming, he should come now.
Are you coming, Alejandro? Okay. Safe, come now. We have to put away from. Are you on the phone?
Why don't you sit there, Alejandro? What's this?
Good morning, Cherokee. Welcome to On the Air. I'm Cynthia, my co-host Barbara. Welcome back, Barbara.
Thank you. So good to be back, Cynthia.
On the Air is broadcasting live on Radio Cherokee 103.3 FM. Ciento Tres, Punto Tres. Oh, if only you guys could see us do that. We're here in beautiful Alto Boquete. Our wonderful engineer is Suleika. Buenos dias, Suleika.
Buenos dias.
And today we're honored to have wonderful guests, Carol and Barrington Brian and Alejandro. And we will be talking to them shortly about an upcoming event that they have at Big Daddy's. Barbara, what's up tomorrow at the BCP?
Well, the Tuesday talks are taking a hiatus. So for the next 2 weeks, it will be all Tuesday market all the time. I did notice, that there's going to be the Good Times Music Review, which is coming up on Friday, Saturday this week, and Friday, Saturday next week, which is, of course, our what do we call it? What do we used to
The,
call it?
it used to be the old time radio show,
Oh,
but
that's
now it's a
right.
musical review, and I understand it is going to be spectacular.
And it looks like Ray Charles is going to be on and Frank Sinatra.
Yeah,
And
but that'll
Nat
be
King Cole.
very interesting.
Very cool.
The bones.
Looking forward. Tickets are on sale, probably. Tickets are on sale at Big Daddy's, at the Tap Club, at mailboxes, etc. So get them now because you know they're gonna go. They're gonna go.
They are certainly going to go, and they're going to go fast. Are there any other things coming up?
Elvis Presley.
The Boquete Birders invite visitors and new birders on an easy bird walk through the back streets of Boquete on August 16th. They're going to be meeting at the gazebo at Los Establos, not the gazebo in the park, at 7:45 a.m. and it ends about 11 a.m. Bring binoculars and camera and bring a bottle of water and a snack if you'd like. No dogs. Be sure to tuck an umbrella in your backpack and any snacks. And this is just a short introduction to birding, so enjoy that. And please RSVP to our leader in the birders, Kay Wade, at DK, both small, W, at ADAY at yahoo.com. Also, I don't know if you've noticed, if you
Barb,
saw this.
Before you get on to something else, I got to tell you that this past Friday, just a couple days ago, I went on one of the Boquete Birders hikes near the Caldera River, and it was amazing. We saw such beautiful, beautiful birds, and it was just an enjoyable hike with lovely people. Not what I'd call a speedy hike. I always thought when photographers get together, we do slow hikes. Birders really do very, take 10 steps and stop and go, wow, look at that. And that tree, see the movement over there on the left at about 10 o'clock? Yeah, no, on the branches going out a little further. And that's how you bird. And it was so much fun. And we saw absolutely beautiful birds and had a great time with great people. So if you want to join the birders to be able to do this, go on one of these Friday morning around towns, learn about the club, learn about the what you need to be a member, and enjoy it, because we are so blessed here to have such a gorgeous variety of birds in this area.
Oh, it's amazing. It's really amazing. And, I was just in Boston and I hardly saw any birds at all. I think I saw a cardinal and a blue jay. And I felt so sad about that. We are so rich with beautiful, beautiful wildlife here, especially birds. And to be able to spot them from afar and really get a good look at them is really special. So please join us on the 16th with Kay Wade and be sure to RSVP. The other thing is that our new mayor, Joswar Alvarado, the U.S. Embassy in Panama is pleased to announce that representatives from the Regional Federal Benefits Office will visit Panama City to offer services for beneficiaries or individuals with questions about U.S. Social Security benefits. Oh, this is different. And also, our new mayor, Joswar Alvarado, is going to have a meeting of Boquetanians on Friday.
It's the town hall meeting that was supposed to be today that got postponed till Friday.
Exactly. And it's going to be at the Feria. I don't know the name of that room, but that indoor room where the first indoor room you come to before you get into the plant area. I don't know what the time is. And I did see it listed in Facebook. And that's all I've got. Do I have anything else? Oh, I've got trivia night.
Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Tomorrow, August 13th. And I've got Vented to Patio for Dog Camp, which is, they're looking for donations. And I think you can bring them to Larry's place. And also, the legend Elvis lives on at Big Daddy's. Wow. Nat King Cole, Nancy Sinatra, Frank Sinatra, and now Elvis. August 13th starts at 3 p.m. at Big Daddy's. Elvis' favorite dinner prepared by Chef Chris. And live DJ and dancing, a 50-50 raffle, and an Elvis impersonator. I want to see this. Be sure to contact Linda Hart and make your reservations. lhart249@hotmail.com.
and that's to support the Princess Foundation, I believe, the Panama Princess League, which is a girls' baseball league. Which, you know, for years girls have not, you know, internationally and everywhere. And I remember when I was growing up, girls' sports were not something that was very well funded. So this is a great time to support the girls and their baseball league here in Panama and in Boquete.
Yay, girls.
Yay, girls. Let's
Mhm.
talk to our guests. Carol and Brian, welcome.
You go ahead
Okay,
first.
here we are. So we are Safe Harbor International, and we will be hosting an event at the Big Daddies on September 1st, and we have 2 show times, and the first one is 5 p.m. till 6:30, and then the next is 6:30 till 8, and the ticket prices are $12. On the menu, we'll have short ribs, coleslaw, fries, and vegetable tacos. And you have to RSVP. We're not selling tickets, but you can RSVP, and the numbers are 507-6782 or 6782-8266 or 507-6957-8914. Look forward to having you there.
Could you tell us about Safe Harbor so we know about your group?
Sure. Safe Harbor started around November of last year. We actually got registered in the U.S. at that time as a nonprofit organization under the 508c1a, which is similar to the 501(c). And so we've been operating here since we've been here in Panama since June of last year, 2018. We have been working with organizations like Nutri Hogar and also Esperanza, Casa Esperanza. Currently, just Nutri Hogar. And we go twice a week. We go on Wednesdays and we do go on Fridays. And we go normally from 10 to 12, just to love on the babies and to give emotional support. A lot of these children they're there for, of course, nutritional reasons. And they're away from their parents, sometimes from 2 months to even a year or longer. And so, you know, you can imagine a child being away from their parents that long. It really puts a strain on them. And some of them, you can see in their eyes that they're lost in a place that large. So we just go to give emotional support. And although we have plans to develop our own space and own area, we like to work with organizations to help in their efforts to reach the lives of children.
Lovely.
Very nice. Thank you guys for coming here today and telling us about it. Is there anything else you'd like us to know about what you're doing?
That's about it. And the show times will feature the group Harmonics. And I know many people are familiar with Harmonics, and we look forward to having them. And so we look forward to seeing you there.
A wonderful, wonderful group.
Great.
Please support.
Thank you.
Lovely.
I know that the children that the group that you mentioned, Hogar, is so important. For years ago, when many years ago, when Romania removed children from their home, and these children were emotionally damaged for the rest of their lives because of the lack of comfort and support and being held by a human and human touch. So your going there is so extremely important. Thank you for doing that.
Sure. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Suleika, do we have any music we can play now? Well, we'll see if we can find some music to play.
If anybody's got music, it's Suleika.
It's Suleika, that's for sure.
While we're waiting for Suleika to find some good tunes, just let me give you the next recycling dates for August. On Sunday, August 18th, and on Tuesday, 27th, as always, Gate 6 at the Feria.
And don't forget, you can take bottles there, you can take plastic there, you can take metal objects there. You can take your computer there, but please remove the battery first because they do not take batteries. So they do take metal objects, they do take electronics. It's at the Feria, Gate 6. And, you know, be kind to the people there. Rinse out the tin cans, rinse out the bottles. Don't bring anything that's too full of trash, please. What do you think about that?
I think it's great.
We were having this discussion a little earlier, and Barbara was surprised to find that they also take paper and cardboard there.
I know. Well, I thought it had ended. I thought they were only recycling plastic.
No,
Since Howard was here.
no, it's plastic, glass, tin, metal, copper, you name it, they take it. And
I've only read this every week for the past 2 months, and I'm just now understanding it.
we're going to have a music break. See, when we ask, we get one of my favorite recording artists, Brian Adams. Have you ever really loved a woman?
Mm-mm.
That's a great song. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for
coming.
Sure.
How do you want us?
That's good. Yeah.
Can you see?
Smile.
Wait a minute, I want to hide my stomach. Go ahead.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you for
This is
coming.
our
You
first
two
time
are
in the
so
studio, and it's really
The
cool.
studio's
Yeah.
fun, huh?
The local beer bottle.
We used to be in
you
there.
take back.
Oh, yeah?
And
We went
it was
there
too
first,
windy,
yeah.
and we lost a lot of
International ones,
electricity.
they take.
Oh, really?
So now they put us out here, and actually, it's very unique and special to be out here. We
It
really
is
like it a
special.
lot.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Kinda
I like it too.
cozy.
It's cozy
Yeah.
and fun.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
You two look like you have a lot of fun here.
We
do.
do.
We do.
It just sort of evolved. It's been very fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
So you met each other
alive
here?
and
Like,
happy and
since
spunky.
you met each other here in Panama? Or-
Yeah.
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 Okay, great.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
You have the right spirit for it.
Yes.
Right
For
personality.
sure. Perfect.
I met Barbara when I accidentally auditioned for a play that she was directing.
And she tried to get out of it every day.
I did.
And then when the show went on, she was fabulous.
Oh,
with
I
it.
wow.
love
You
that
love
exaggerate.
They did. They loved her. So it was good.
It was
Awesome.
it was a good experience because you're a great director. So.
No, thank you.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
wonderful. Well, it was our pleasure meeting you.
Well,
And good luck with
the
your-
event.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely. I'm sure it'll be
And,
well
um,
attended.
And I hope you'll
Thank you.
come to the event if you're able. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
I'm,
you.
I'm kind of a stay-at-home person
You are. Okay. All right.
because I don't have a car right now.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
This way for a
Absolutely.
second.
Thanks for
Hopefully-
coming.
Yeah, hopefully you get to meet again.
Absolutely.
Nice.
About, yeah.
Invite him back.
No, they can.
Oh,
Like a
Let me see
follow
your
up.
hand.
Yeah.
Your fingers are doing good.
Is it, do you have a lot of
this
color?
one,
Ah,
see
yeah.
how it's crooked that way? And when I
All
bend
right.
it, it goes
Thank
under
you,
that one,
everyone.
And it wiggles on its own.
Oh.
And this one doesn't straighten all the way. Bend right.
Can you use
And then-
it?
Yeah, and in the morning I can't use them at all. I
Hmm.
mean, and
They're
when I first
yeah.
wake up, they're just.
You know what I'm using on my toe that I broke and
Guys,
never got fixed?
You acted like you were actually on stage, and it was good because it's kind of entertaining for us. Just
We've heard that before.
We are. We are.
yeah.
Bye.
I'm using CBD oil on my toe,
Yeah.
and it's really working. I got it from Botanicals.
You just.
What are we going to talk about? Well, let's find a topic.
You want to sit over there?
Yeah.
Do you want me
Sure.
to sit over there?
I'll sit over here. I'll sit here. What are we going to talk about?
Oh dear. Okay. Is this good?
Have you
to
talked about
remember-
your
you
project?
have to remember to talk about and no. and I'm
Talk
not going
about- Oh, okay. What can we?
Pues acá está más cómodo.
There?
Cómodo.
Okay.
Sí,
It's more. It's more comfortable.
More comfortable. She said.
Yeah. Isn't it?
What are we going to talk about? Oh, you know
I
what?
want to talk about the library. and their
Oh, okay,
series.
great. And I also want to talk about the weather because I read Bud's weather report, and it is drier this year. and
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Majorly drier.
Mark, you're fired. I don't know where you are.
There is a guy who is promoting.
Okay. I got a message from. Here, where is it?
Mark confirmed it didn't show up.
He asked me yesterday for it.
Huh.
He put it in his calendar. He said he knew where it would be. Oh, wow. It's almost 10:30 already.
Roger left us messages.
What'd it say? 5 minutes? That's the response to my stuff.
Oh.
Ready.
Welcome back. You've been listening to "If You Have You Ever Loved a Woman" by Bryan Adams, or singing by Bryan Adams. This is On the Air with Cynthia and Barbara, broadcasting live on Radio Cherokee 103.3 FM. Ciento tres, punto tres.
Oh, that
And
is so
we
fun to
were
say.
talking to Carol and Barrington Bryan, who have a fundraiser on the first at Big Daddy's. A musical review will be on it, and if you can make it, please do. Talking about music, I went to the library for their one of their amazing concerts that we are so privileged to have, the quality of performers that we have. You know, yesterday's was a classical concert, of course, and Panamanian brothers Louis Castle and Isaac Castle were musicians, and was not their first time to be part of a group that played. And here in Boquete, we just love them both. Louis plays the violin and Isaac the cello, and they performed with musicians, professional musicians from all over the world. I mean, talking about world-class music, it's unbelievable. Paola Castle was in it and playing the viola, and along with the two Castle sisters, Anna, and I cannot pronounce her last name because it's Polish, and I can't pronounce anything that's spelled in Polish. It's Majizik, something like that. She was a soloist part of it, and she is an exquisite violinist. I mean, just beautiful. Just to tell you the quality of the people that are part of this ensemble for yesterday, she plays with the Hamburg Symphony in Germany. That's her home. Most of the performers are friends. They practice together for 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours later in the afternoon. They are so amazing, and they're fun, and they enjoy it. The audience enjoys it, and it's something that you don't expect to find in a community this small. The quality, the ticket sales, like for yesterday's performance, were $20. Of course, if you have the yearly pass, you don't pay the $20, and in fact, you save quite a bit of money by having that yearly pass.
How much does that pass cost?
It was $100. I'm not sure what it is right now, if they've raised it slightly or not, but well worth it. I mean, for my $100, I got all these wonderful concerts. They averaged like $8 a concert to me, and it was like phenomenal. But giving them the money, and I realized when I was watching the performance, you have about 15 performers on stage, maybe 10 to 15, somewhere around there. I don't remember exactly how many was in the group yesterday. There is no way the place holds 100 people. So, that's $2,000. There is no way you can bring that level and that many professional musicians to Boquete on ticket sales alone. So the foundation, the Boquete Library Foundation, really needs your support, folks. You really need to contribute to it. It's because we are so fortunate to have that library. It's the only lending library outside of Panama City anywhere. They have books in English, they have books in Spanish, they have programs for children there, they have programs for adults there. They are one of the best things in the community for everybody. Panamanians enjoy it. The expat community enjoys it. I cannot say enough. Do you know that they have more? They have approximately 30,000 books there.
Wow.
You know, it's
That's really fabulous.
it is. It's amazing. Although I did ask the other day if I've been watching on Netflix a series on Simon Bolivar, and I really it got me like, wait a minute, I really need to delve into the history of Panama.
Mhm.
And I went and I said, do you have a book on the history of Panama in English? And unfortunately, they don't. So if anyone's listening in and you happen to have a book in English on Panama's history, please donate it to the library so I can borrow it, or let me know and send it to me directly, or get it to me directly, because that's an important thing to have. I took out of the library over a year ago when I was first down here a book called the Golden Horse, and it was a historical novel on the building of the railroad before the building of the railroad that had to be built before you could build the canal, because you had to have a way of bringing the equipment and the cement or whatever they needed, the wood for building the canal. You had to bring it along by train to the points where there were the construction materials. Anyway, but the library has some other concerts coming up, and you won't want to miss them. Let me tell you what they are as soon as I can turn this page and put on my glasses. September 21st is Grupo de Música de Cámara Clarion. So that is a clarion chamber music group. I've seen a clarion music group there before. Never knew I would love it as much as I did when I saw it. So don't miss that. Plan on October 26th, the Camerata de Cuartos Mario de Abalda, Alvarado Nicola. Boy, this is in very small print. That's going to be strings, I believe, also. And on November 16th, music. It's a chorus, a live musical choir of Panama. So that's going to be November 16th, and December 1st, a youth and children's orchestra, MOA. I'm not sure what MOA stands for. The one on October 26th, if I had looked better, I could see it was in English, is the Camerata Strings Orchestra. So,
wow. Amazing, diverse,
amazing. And buy your season's ticket and don't miss these. I mean, they come very close to selling out every performance. So I don't think there were more than 3 seats vacant at yesterday's show. So
that's fabulous.
Yeah. And
it's really impressive, that level of musical ability and those kinds of internationally famous performers. Susan and Price Peterson, thank you.
Yeah, I actually went up to Mr. Peterson yesterday after the performance and thanked him for what he has done for this community, and invited him to come on the show. And I'm hoping he will be here with us one Monday. Yeah, because
he's fascinating. He has so many great stories, and he knows a lot about the history of Panama. So it'll be a wonderful show.
Yeah, so hoping he'll be in touch with us soon. And we have a guest next week. Who's
Rigo Terranova.
And he'll be talking about everything going on in the city of Boquete, or the
he
district
is our
of Boquete.
new mayor's right-hand man, so he knows the scoop.
Yeah, our mayor kind of stood us up a couple weeks in, but he'll be here. The mayor had other priorities that I think took precedent over our show, and that's, I understand that. So, but we'll be looking forward to having his right-hand man on our show next week. And Barb, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you were in Boston just now.
Yeah.
Did you use a camera at all while you were there, or did you take pictures with your?
Isn't that funny? And I don't take photos.
Interesting, because right now there's a real movement. There are 2 movements. The DSLR movement that's like, hey, nothing replaces our camera and everything it can do. and then there's also the smartphone. You know, people say, "Oh, I don't need to lug around that 2-pound or 5-pound camera, and I can do everything you can do with my smartphone." And one of these days we're going to have someone on here that is a smartphone advocate, and we'll talk about the differences between the two, because there are differences. I mean, the smartphones today, those cameras on them are excellent, but they don't do everything that a DSLR can do. Their sensors are smaller, and they're not quite as good in low light. Their ISO, it tends to get a little grainy, or they don't use the word grainy anymore. They use it noisy. I don't know why. Grainy makes more sense to me.
Oh.
But it's a great, I think my favorite saying is, the best camera is the one you have with you.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
At least you can take a picture.
Exactly. And there are so many photo opportunities where we live that it's just amazing. So tell us a little bit about anything interesting you did while you were in Boston.
I spent all my time with my girls, which to me is the most interesting thing I could ever do on any given day, in any given moment. My older daughter came from San Diego, and we spent a lot of time talking and hanging out. My younger daughter lives in Cambridge, and she's, as I said, a professional photographer. She had a lot of jobs while we were there, and we did get to hang out. It was very interesting. One day when my older daughter and I were hiking around Cambridge, we saw 2 helicopters up in the air, and eventually 5 helicopters up there, and they were circling. And I was, of course, freaked out and find out what was going on. And it turned out that there was a man who had killed someone in Pennsylvania, and they had tracked him to Harvard Square. And he was in Harvard Square. And it was state troopers up the yin yang all over the place. And they literally took him down 3 minutes. From the moment they spotted him to the moment they took him down, it was 3 minutes. It was very impressive. That really was an interesting experience, seeing how on high alert all the police were the whole time I was there. I saw a lot of speeding stadies. I saw a lot of helicopters in the air every single day. It was surprising to me. I raised my kids in Boston, and I've never seen anything quite so intensive as far as the police go. We really didn't do anything. We've lived there our whole lives, so we really didn't go to the usual places.
Yeah, but here's the important question. Did you have a corned beef sandwich?
No.
Oh,
it did not have a corned beef.
You disappoint
because my
me.
older daughter did not want to go to Brookline. She has bad memories, and she said no to Brookline. And I didn't want to go by myself, although I love Brookline. And I used to live in Brighton, right next door to Brookline. And I did tell Cynthia I would try to have a corned beef sandwich. And
I'm just,
this is not the last time I'll go to Boston.
Yeah,
so the
next time you go to there, you go to Brookline, you buy a pound of corned beef, and you bring it back for me.
Absolutely. You got it, girl.
I am a corned beef addict, so, and we get corned beef here in Panama, but it's not quite the same as the corned beef you get in Boston. So, by the way, everybody, if you'd like to send an email to either the municipality of Boquete or the mayor, here are the 2 email addresses. For the municipality of Boquete, you can send it to munboq.alcaldia@outlook.com. And if you want to send one specifically to the mayor, you send it to alcaldiaboquete@gmail.com. And just for your information, this show is now being recorded. We found out today, and I'm kind of like, oh no.
Audio and visual.
Audio and visual, and you'll be able to see a YouTube of it. Don't be frightened. I'm terrified of what it's going to look like, but you don't have to be frightened, folks. if anybody out there wants to come down now that we're being videoed, if you want to come down and just come on the show and wave hi and say something,
Do it.
please do. We're in at Radio Cherokee, which is just past the Dorado store, and turn right. And if you're coming from
Town.
from town,
Right
turn
behind
right,
that restaurant.
go up for about a block or so, and you'll see us over on the left-hand side. We're in a mobile home, and hey, you're welcome to come join us on the air, because we'd love to have our listeners here with us some of the time. It's kind of a fun thing.
Absolutely.
And I always get such a kick out of it when someone will say to me, "Oh, I heard you talk about such and such on the show," and I'm like, "Oh, really? People are listening." It's kind of
really
fun.
nice because we're sort of in a vacuum here. We're just
Yes.
sitting here talking to each other or talking with our guest, and it's cool that people are responding.
It is.
Feel good.
And it's talking about feel good things. When I really am like wanting to feel good, I go over to Morton's and I buy a bagel.
Of course.
And I, sometimes I buy it with just a little like butter on it and some lox on it. But I'll buy a bagel because that always makes me feel good. Or they make these wonderful little knishes, I guess I could call it. It's this potato and onion inside this little piece of dough. It is so yummy.
And not to mention the rugelach.
Oh my gosh.
If you have never had a rugelach, it's like a little cookie that is just buttery, 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 buttery. So try to get one.
And their breads,
Fabulous.
Their sourdough is great. They make artesian breads like you wouldn't believe. And you know what? I think if you go there and you spend $5 and you say artesian bread, you can get a free cookie. So I think that promotion is still going on, so try it and, sit down and eat there or take some things home. And I believe it's one day a week only. I thought it was every day. They make falafel and pita. It may be on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. It could be tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm not sure which day. So you might have to stop in and find out. But I think, it must be on Wednesday. And I'm pretty sure. Listen to this one, folks. They sold out of it last time. So if you wanted, get there for an early lunch. It is going to be a very special thing. And I love pita and I love falafel.
And not to mention, Mort's is a cool place to hang out. There's a lot of cool people there, and it's very fun, very social, and wonderful.
Yeah, and while you're thinking about going to Mort's, you can listen to ABBA singing "Gimme Gimme."
Ooh. Nice.
Is there anything else on these things to talk about?
Are we definitely off the air? I want to say something.
No, it's recorded.
I'm totally whited out over there. My hair and my face are just like one color.
What do I look like?
You've got some dark in your hair still. I don't have any dark in my hair. Maybe it's just because I'm in the lit area.
You're in the lit area.
And you're sort of off.
Good. Yay.
Sexy. Ow!
Ow. ABBA. Did you know about that when ABBA first started? There was a rumor when ABBA first started recording. No, when ABBA first started recording, they didn't know English. And so the first album that they recorded in English, they had no idea what they were singing.
Yes, I think I did know that.
And then there was a rumor that...
Are they Swedish?
Yeah. And then there was a rumor that the monkeys didn't really know how to play their instruments. But that was only a rumor. They really did know how to play their instruments. But because they were like a television show...
Yeah.
So the producers of the show didn't want them to... They hired studio musicians so that they could concentrate on their acting rather than on their performance. Mike Weber told me that.
That's so fun. They were my first concert. And then the Turtles. Between the monkeys and the Turtles, oh my God, it was fabulous.
Wow.
I want to I've got something here that I can read about. No, my glasses. Thank you. Just the Panama City will celebrate 500
Right,
years.
right.
And isn't it funny how I found out that they were lip sync?
Oh shoot, I don't remember who it was, but yeah.
But remember what it was so shocking.
Yeah.
And literally, people have been doing that for years.
Yeah. The recorded is always a better.
Oh, closures outside of Panama City are highly unlikely.
Hiccups.
I saw that, but nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be interesting. They got all the flags going. We're dancing.
Lip sync. Welcome back. You've been listening to ABBA. Gimme, gimme. I love it. This is On the Air with Cynthia and Barbara, broadcasting live on Radio Cherokee 103.3 FM, Ciento Tres, Punto Tres. Listening to ABBA just now, takes me back to my musical days. Of course, I wasn't a performer, and no one would ever want to listen to me sing. But this weekend in Denver, the Rolling Stones appeared. Two of my sons and a lot of my friends posted that they were there, and I'm like, I miss those days. And I was just thinking about it. The Stones are older than I am, and I'm in my early 70s. So, there was a cartoon just recently on the air where you see these little old men walking into a concert hall. And a younger man behind him is saying, "Aren't you guys too old to be coming to this concert?" And they go, "We are the concert."
Totally.
So, yeah. And I remember many, many years ago, the Who singing My Generation in Diego, and I'm looking at them going, "You back," but great, because they still put on wonderful shows, and they are still excellent performers with good music, and I love the old music. I love the new music. So it's kind of a fun thing to do and a fun thing to see. And I'm glad you guys got to enjoy the Stones, and I didn't. Oh, well.
I'm just glad Mick Jagger's back on stage. Good job, because he did have a heart issue.
Yeah. But he's out there
He's
performing.
Just cooking, still cooking.
Yeah.
I wanted to remind everybody that Panama City will celebrate 500 years of foundation on August 15th this year, 2019. Panama City is a city with a great historical heritage full of tradition and culture. It's the oldest city erected by the Spanish in the American Pacific. Very interesting. Foundation, quote unquote, of Old Panama City is a regional holiday that typically is celebrated in the Panama City area. Cherokee-based governmental offices, banks, and private businesses may or may not honor this holiday, but unofficial information suggests closures outside of Panama City are highly unlikely. So keep your eyes and ears open. On August 15th, we may or may not have closures in this area, and all of us can enjoy celebrating our beautiful Panama City 500 years of foundation.
And, I've been to the original construction of the old Panama City, and there's two old Panama cities now, one old and then one not as old. But the old one, which is the 500-year-old one, is a wonderful place to explore. It's just beautiful. It's a great place to take your camera if you're a photographer. But it's just a nice place to go through. They have a little museum there, and they have a film on the history, and it's just really just a lovely little visit. It was closed for a few years for not necessarily construction, but for maintenance and things that needed to be done there. But it's a large area, and it's a beautiful place to visit. So if you get a chance, just you're talking about something that's 500 years old. That's just an amazing thing. And think about what Panama, which was jungle, and still is, And so think of what it took to build a city on the edge of the Pacific in 500 years ago. We're talking predating by many centuries, predating the canal. So, it was
Impressive.
very impressive. And Panama City was very, very important in the gold rush. People to get to the gold rush in California, they actually came down the Atlantic side from the States, because people weren't in California, not that many people. Crossing the U.S. was very difficult because of the Rocky Mountains, which are beautiful today, and they have highways through them, but they didn't then. So they would come down the eastern coast on the Atlantic side. They would go across the canal, either by train when it was just the train, or by boat when the canal finally opened. And then they would take another boat on the Pacific side up to California for the gold rush. There's an interesting history of boats from the southern part of the world, from South America. They would come up then with their crews to Panama City. The crews would disembark in Panama City, and then they would get gold rush fever, and they would abandon the ships and go up to the gold rush in California. And a lot of ships were just left out in the ocean, in the harbor in Panama City during those days. So that's kind of a bit of history that you don't think about, but it's part of the history of
that
Panama.
was fascinating.
Yeah, and of course, illnesses in those days were rampant because of the environment and the time. So that's 500 years ago, and then of course the gold rush was more recent than 500 years ago. But it's still part of the history of that part of the world, and take advantage of what we have here in Panama and what we can see and what we can do. I love being here. It's just a world. It's a new old world here.
It's so interesting because I raised my kids in Boston. I lived in Boston for 25 years. I always loved walking around the city. I always loved living in the suburbs there. It's just gorgeous. And this time, for the first time, I've lived in Boquete for 5 years. I missed our mountains. I missed the rainforest and the cloud forest. I just missed the ambiance of this beautiful town. It's a very, very special place. And the longer I stay here, the more I love it.
Well, that's, it's probably
magical.
Hey, didn't you tell me there was something interesting about the weather here lately that
it was interesting to read our newest weather forecast because I had the feeling it's been a lot drier this year. And I've had a lot of people say, oh no, it's like this on and off. And it really has been a lot drier. And I looked at the rainfall for all the towns, and it was considerably lower than most years. I know there's been an El Nino. I don't know how that has affected it, but we are really down in rainfall this year in a big, big way. I don't know about you. I live in Palmyra Centro, and we have a lot of wind, major wind.
It's been really windy where I live.
So windy.
Yeah.
And I just saw that there is some kind of a storm brewing around the edges of Panama, Pacific, and Caribbean coasts, with winds and major rain starting tomorrow through Friday, I think it is.
I know there was one a couple like last week that way also, and
did
when
know.
those happen, we feel it up here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we get a little more wind than normal. But yeah, I remember reading. Oh, I think it was way back in April that the El Nino is going to cause us to have less a lesser rainy season than normal this year.
Well, it's significantly less.
Yeah, which
My
is,
plants are crying.
oh, as long as the water tanks are full, we're okay.
Absolutely.
Hey, we only have a couple minutes left, and I wanted to thank everyone for listening before we get off the air. So I want to thank you for tuning in to On the Air with Cynthia and Barbara on Radio Cherokee 103.3 FM, Ciento Tres, Punto Tres. Thank you, Suleika, for engineering our show.
Thank you, Suleika.
Thank you.
Thanks to Brian and oh goodness, I forgot her.
Carol.
Carol. Oh, Barrington and Carol and Brian Alejandro for coming on the show, even though Brian never said anything. Oh no, it's Carol and Barrington, Brian and Alejandro that didn't say anything. My apologies, everybody. Remember, their thing is August 1st at Big Daddy's.
September 1st.
Oh my goodness, August 1st is long gone, isn't it?
Because Rigo Terranova, the right-hand man of our new mayor, will be here talking about the ins and outs of our new administration and the wonderful things we can look forward to in our beautiful town.
And thank you to our sponsors, The Rock and Morton's Bakehouse. And as always, remember to recycle, repurpose, bend down and pick it up. Join the Basura Busters on Sunday mornings at the sandwich shop early to help them pick up. I don't think they're picking up this week, though.
They're on vacation.
Yeah. Keep moving and stay healthy. And thank you for listening to On the Air with Cynthia and Barbara. We'll be back next Monday, of course, with talk, music, and much, much more. And don't forget to tune in to Al Stefanelli on Friday mornings from 10 to 11 and the delightful Mike Weber's Strange Music Show with all the music you love from growing up. And that's at 2 p.m. and again on Friday and again on Mondays at 2. So his show gets replayed on Mondays.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. And thank you for listening in. Great
and check
show.
us out on YouTube. Then you can see what it really looks like back here.
And we are off the air, I believe. Bye, everyone.
Ciao. Good job. When people don't show up, you call them.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.